When you're standing in your kitchen staring at a glossy box of a high-end espresso machine, the first question that usually pops up is, will this actually fit into my morning routine, or am I just adding another gadget that gathers dust? I get that hesitation. The Jura E8 isn't just another coffee maker, it's an automatic espresso system that promises cafe-quality drinks at the push of a button, but the real test is whether it lives up to that promise when you're juggling work emails, kids, and the occasional late-night espresso craving. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon, so you can compare the specs side by side with any other models you're eyeing. First off, the biggest thing to consider is how much you actually use an espresso machine. If you're the kind of person who drinks a single shot a day, or maybe a latte on weekends, you might find the overall cost and the learning curve a bit steep. The E8 is built around a 17-program specialty menu that includes everything from a classic espresso to a flat white, a ristretto, and even a cold brew option. For someone who likes to experiment and enjoys the ritual of pulling a perfect shot each morning, that variety feels like a genuine benefit. For the casual drinker, however, that menu can feel overwhelming. You may end up pressing buttons you never really need, and the machine's internal software will automatically suggest drinks based on your past selections, which can add a layer of unwanted complexity to a simple coffee break. The most immediate practical strength is the integrated professional aroma grinder. Jura's brand reputation centers on grinding beans fresh right before extraction, and this model actually delivers on that promise. The grinder is calibrated to adjust grind size automatically depending on the drink you select, which means you don't have to fiddle with a separate grinder or worry about stale grounds losing flavor. In real-world terms, that translates to a consistently rich crema on every espresso, even after the machine's been sitting idle for a few hours. I've seen users report that the first cup in the morning tastes noticeably fresher than a pre-ground bag of beans you might pick up at the grocery store. That's a tangible value add if you care about taste fidelity. On the flip side, the grind-to-brew system does come with a hidden trade-off: cleaning. The grinder and brewing unit require regular maintenance, and the E8's automatic cleaning cycle is a bit of a time sink. You have to run the rinse program after every few drinks, and the machine prompts you to decal every 3 to 6 months depending on water hardness. If you're a busy professional who wants a set-it-and-forget-it experience, you'll need to carve out a few minutes each week for upkeep. Skipping that maintenance isn't just a nuisance, it will gradually degrade the taste and could even trigger error messages that halt brewing until the system is serviced. Another practical strength is the 2.8-inch color display. At first glance, it looks sleek, and it does a solid job of walking you through drink selections with clear icons. The display also shows the water temperature and the status of the cleaning cycle, which is handy if you're trying to time your morning rush. In practice, though, the screen can be a bit sluggish when switching between specialty drinks, especially if you have the water tank low on level. I've seen users mention that the machine occasionally freezes for a few seconds before it finally processes the next command. It's not a deal breaker, but it does add a minor irritation if you're in a hurry. One thing you won't find in the spec sheet is how the machine fits into the physical space of a typical kitchen. The E8 has a harmonious design that blends stainless steel with a matte black front, giving it a premium look that can either complement a modern countertop or clash with a more rustic aesthetic. Its footprint is roughly the size of a small microwave, so you'll need at least a 12-inch width clearance. If your countertop is already crowded, you might have to rearrange dishes or even consider a dedicated coffee nook to make room. That's a logistical factor many reviewers overlook but can be a deal-breaker for smaller apartments. Now, let's talk about who should actually buy this. If you're an espresso enthusiast who enjoys pulling multiple shots a day, loves to experiment with milk-based drinks, and doesn't mind allocating a few minutes each week for cleaning, the Jura E8 is a solid investment. Its ability to store personal drink preferences means you can program it to your exact taste, say, a double shot with a precise temperature and a specific milk froth thickness so you get the same result every single time. That consistency is a serious selling point for people who entertain guests and want to serve cafe-standard drinks without the barista's expertise. Conversely, if you're primarily a drip coffee drinker who only occasionally indulges in a cappuccino, you might be better off with a simpler machine or even a high-quality manual espresso maker.